shit. And if thoughts create reality, you wonder why the collective's reality is so fucked up. Individually, we have our own bubble of synchronicity and our own bubble of reality, and we can live in our own heaven-based reality in an individual way, but we're still waiting for that individuated synchronistic bubble to catch up to the collective's bubble. Because the collective's still out of whack. And there are pockets of heaven that exist in the consciousness of the gods. Myself, 360, there's plenty of different gods and goddesses out there that are the real awakened beings, the real ones, the ones that are actually making this happen. We're the pockets of heaven that exist wherever we're at. That's why we have to go to certain places or just be a certain place. Because it's like we're taking heaven with us, because we are. We carry the heaven frequency. We carry the multidimensional frequency with us to these pockets and these different environments. The hood, like a lot of us were born in the hood because that light needed to be there. A lot of us were born in these environments because as soon as we popped out, that light, boop, turned on. As soon as our consciousness, as soon as we started to become self-aware, that light got brighter. And then the more self-awareness, and we started to change those environments, right? It's like we became a big-ass crystal, a big living crystal moving about life, spreading this energy, projecting these new stories. And these stories were more powerful than 1,000 stories that humans are telling that have nothing to do with fucking anything that has any bearing on reality, right? People, well, Ashley took mine and she fucked that bitch, because those stories don't carry powerful energy. They carry lower vibratory frequencies of parasitic energy. That's not powerful. It feels powerful. It really doesn't even feel powerful. It feels more uncomfortable is really what it feels like. You think it's power, but you know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna take away from the power of the darkness, because that does have a lot of power. Let me not get it twisted. That does have a lot of power. It doesn't hold as much power as those who are telling a story of wholeness, right? Of the truth of reality, which is that we're all inseparable from one another. If I'm inseparable from you and I'm talking shit about you, then I'm talking shit about myself. If I'm inseparable from you and I steal from you, I'm stealing from myself, and on and on and on and on. So if I'm telling these stories about you or about life or about the world, and they don't correspond with something that has to do with a higher vibratory reality, then I'm cursing myself and I'm cursing the reality. I got a treat coming up, huh?
Yo, what's good with you, twin?
Peace, God, peace, peace.
Man, we always be in a line. I wasn't gonna come up here, but I was just in my class saying the exact same thing. So, that whole aspect, I literally just pulled up a book of Joe Dispenza, Becoming Supernatural, that tells you about tapping into that inseparable, literally word for word what you just said. You become inseparable by tapping in. When you unify two states of consciousness, there's no separation in between it. So it becomes the no thing. See, right now we are something because we're all separated. When you become the no thing, you become everything. Right now we somewhere, somebody, sometime, at some place. When your ass merge your consciousness together with universally with everybody, you the no thing and the everything. So everything you just said, I literally just pulled up a book and read that shit. So that's amazing.
And this is why I love having you come up, because you bring context to what I'm saying. And this is why it's really important to read as well, because when you read, it's all us. So when you read directly from from a book, they're putting it into words that it's poetic almost, right? It's like you're reading yourself a poem, and then you read it a little differently. I'm channeling directly, but sometimes I can just go off. Sometimes you need order. And that's why when you're reading something that has something, this is specifically about this, right? It's ordered. So when you read that, my consciousness just opened. It opened. That's why I love having collaborations, because that bounce off between me just whatever and then you coming with you just changed my reality. I heard this shit 1,000 times. You feel what I'm saying? I heard these concepts 1,000 times, But the fact that you read it from your vibration and it changes things, man. And it just opened my shit up even more. Now I'm more powerful in that one instance. I'm more powerful. You feel what I'm saying? That shit is
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's fire, bro. And you know what it is, bro? What I think is going on is we are just merely channels of like a cosmic universal energy. And the more, I've always seen that with you, the more you open up your heart and open up that frequency. I can tell because when you wrote that song, the difference in between us is bro, no, that was some straight heart chakra energy. I know because one time I listened to that song when I was in a bad mood and it shifted my consciousness. Bro, now quick, it shifted my whole vibe and feeling. It became a whole energy because the heart frequency is opened up for you to receive those patterns of rap, to receive that genie in us, that gene in us. That's the genius. That's the universal channel that we do. We are mere witnesses of an energy. That's what I was just reading. We are witnesses. But when we attach our ego too
yes.
much into the witnessing, we start to block the vision. So long as we keep our universal flow up, that's why every day you can come up. You said you ain't been up here. It ain't been because you've been up here because you lack something to talk about. All you gotta do is come up here and press live. It's because your heart open. You can just easily tap into that energy, that channel, because that meditation, that Jargot Sapush, that energy that you've been tapping into, that's just a part of your journey. You teaching us how to channel and meditate. We watch you when you close your eyes and put your fingers up to your temples. That's like bringing the energy home. You feel what I'm saying? You reading the books, but you just reading it through the Akashic as opposed to me just reading through the pages. You feel what I'm saying?
That's something so profound. How we're merely witnesses to the energy. It's our energy, but you start having the body experience. You begin to personalize. Somebody said this to me. She took my this and this. You personalize all the things that are happening in this particular lifetime that you're having. But the problem is that you associate this and that as this and that, but it's really just one energy playing out. You're really here just to witness it. But you have this body in the sense of separation, so you start to personalize it. Well, this is mine, and that's this, and this is that, and that is this. That's what takes you away from that no thing, because you're attached to the things, to the people, to the places, the circumstances, the money, the whole show. Oh my.
Yeah, talk your talk, twin. Bro, no, that's some real talk. And it's crazy because the no thing, the fact that you keep saying that is beautiful. Oh, yeah. Speaking of the meditation, when you meditate, this is the energy you bringing inside yourself. This is a Buddha, clearly the Buddhists and the Hinduism, they tap deep within what? Meditating and bringing that energy. This is a Buddhist healing prayer spoken over the water. When they froze the water and crystal and looked at it at a microscope, this is the crystal that it creates. So you was just talking about crystals and crystallizing energies. And we are 67% water. So when you bringing this energy out and pulling all this energy out, you crystallizing the energy within others. It's a formation. You helping them build formation. You feel me? So this is another one of those universal connections that the mere words we speak, because a prayer is just words being spoken to the water. He just faced the water and spoke. A priest repeated a healing prayer facing the lake. The first crystal before the prayer looks like a distorted face, but the crystal formed after he said the prayer. So this is some like real powerful energy of the resonation of the vibration that affects everybody. Every word you hear, every word uttered and spoke has some type of consequential force within the vibration of who you are. So now you know that there's a war being played out of the war of words. Fuck the world war. It's a word war. And these vibrations are affecting you. So we have to be very aware of the vibration. That's why when I listen to you, I always used to hear you say, man, that goddamn rap. Now I get it, because it's not that the vibration, it might make you feel good and all of that, but it's the words being said with it. That's the shit that's breaking the formation down. And you can just feel that energy like, this ain't for me. You feel weaker now after you listen to it. You feel what I'm saying?
That's the merger between the spoken word and the energy and intent within that spoken word. That's why I said a lot of us, or there's a lot of people who come on here and they talk, but underneath what they're saying, there's no real energy there. And this is why people swipe them out of here. or when you watch the news and they talk, but underneath what they're saying, the energy doesn't match up. So you kind of can see through it, feel through it, sense through it. You like, wait, you just reading off a paper. I can tell, I can feel the intent of the person who wrote it, the person who had to approve it, and now you saying it.
Mm.
It's crazy. Whoa.
Hey, let me and speaking of that, as a testimony to what you said earlier, you just be so tapped in. Look at this visible right here where it says material reality is the somebody, the someone, the something, the somehow, the somewhere, the sometime. And you was just talking about it. Becoming consciousness is nobody, no one, no thing, no time, nowhere. And it states right here, the more we live with our attention on the outer world, living on the somebody, being someone, owning something, living somewhere in some time, all the shit you just said, this is mine, this is that, this is this. In our 3D reality, the more we experience separation and lack. Boy, your ass be channeling. As we move our attention away from the outer world and towards the inner world, that's that meditation shit, into the present moment. I hear you say that a lot too. The present, the now, the now. Our consciousness aligns with its consciousness. Now we are present with it. As we surrender deeper into the unified field as a consciousness, we experience less separation or lack and more oneness and wholeness. So as we merged our someone with the no one, our something with the no thing, and all of these things merged together, we are everything at once again. Because there's no separation between them states of consciousness. They are now just one consciousness. When mommy and daddy became oneness, they got your ass. So every time we sing this universal oneness or synchronization, we always got something new. So this is about the birth of consciousness through the perspective of merging these different energies together. And you've been alluding to that with the aspects of what? The power of your meditation and just you channeling that energy. So, these are just testimonies that, y'all some scribe writers, or the scribes are recording what you already know deep within.
What's so beautiful about this connection that we got? What's beautiful about what's happening right now? I don't know if y'all know or y'all feel it. We might feel it, but every time I go live with 360 or I go live with Spiritual Chosen, anytime I have these connections with these deities, these are some real powerful beings, for real. The entire reality shifts. It leads me to believe that we are the only ones, not in a way of ego, but in a way of that when they say that 144,000, when they say there's really only a few here that's really here, it's starting to bear fruit. Because every time I connect energetically with these beings and we merge energy, we get away from the ego, the body, I'm me and MoonManT, and I got my own life, fuck everybody else's life. When we curve that energy and we finally merge, something in reality itself completely shifts and it changes. And that's something that I notice. I know it's a little bit off topic, but I notice it. And it's powerful. So this transmission right here, after this, expect something. I don't know what it is, but I know it's something.
And hey, y'all, did y'all hear what he just said? He said, I know y'all can feel it. All right. I'm about to batch your energy. He said, I know y'all can feel it. And there's a reason why y'all can feel it. The body is conscious. Guys, this is a test that's done, a calibration test that's done that represents an aspect of when you experience weak things or you experience strong things, your body and your consciousness automatically resonates to it. Okay, so when they did this test and they showed the image, I don't know if y'all can see it, but at the bottom, this boy's holding an apple. They just showed these individuals an apple. And really quick, we're going to do this test. This is two people up here right now, me and MoonManT. Let's say MoonManT held his arm out right now like an airplane, right? And I put my two wrists on his arm, and I'm trying to push his arm down. But as I try to push his arm down, I tell him to hold certain thoughts in his mind. If I tell him to hold something that's positive within his mind, he'll be able to keep me from pushing his arm down. If I tell him to think negative things with his mind, as soon as he starts thinking negative things, I'll be able to push his arm down because the body automatically registers and gets weaker with your consciousness, what it resonates with, depending on how it perceives it. Now, he just said, I know y'all feel the energy within this live. They did this same test with a pesticide apple. And when they showed the pesticide apple without telling the class, their bodies universally went weaker. When they showed them a strong apple that was grown organically, their bodies automatically went stronger. No matter what, they felt the energy of the apple, and they was not conscious of which apple was which. They did not tell them. But every single time the body reacted to when the apple was either a pesticide apple or an organic apple. So when he said, hey, y'all can feel the energy, no, your conscious, your whole body is resonating. It's feeling the energy of the room. It knows what's good for it and what's not good for it. So stick to that feeling. Stick to that energy. These tests are already done. You could do, oh yeah, I did this test with my significant. You can do this test and see when things you think about courage and times you stud up for yourself and watch how quick it shifts.
You know, it's crazy too. That leads me to believe what we already know, even as you're saying that the body has precognition. So that means that the body knows the future. The body knows the future. Obviously our consciousness, but you can detect the future if you use the body because it has precognitive abilities. It already knew what apple it was. It already knows what's about to come. It already feels the phone's about to ring. It already knows, but what you have to do is get the body in order. If you don't get the body in order, then you're numbing those feeling centers.
Bro, yo, hey, yo, you a real mood man. Because what's the moon? Because the moon is the psychological lunar aspect. It just simply knows it's the psychic. It's the psyche, and the psyche is like the soul. It just know it's already tapped in. No, that's some real shit. Because in my last class, it was a couple people in here from my last class. I just told them the test. Another test was done where they would show images of the same kind of test like this. They would show images of fucked up things, right? And they would react to it to the brain. You would see, oh no, that's so bad. The brain would react. Then they would show them good images, and the brain would react to that. Oh man, that's so good. Bro, after like the 20th test, why the brain started reacting before they even showed the pictures? It already knew. Like 15 seconds before, it would already brace itself for the negative impact if it was a negative picture. And if they secretly shifted the slide to a positive picture, the brain would shift and say, oh, I'm about to see something good. It already knew what was gonna happen before, which lets us know all of it's happening already at once. I cannot make this up. I just told him about this test.
So that would also mean that the person conducting the test knows before it knows before the brain even makes the decision to know, because it's what's happening when it's being recorded. The person who's conducting the test is looking at it. Oh, it's about it already chose. It already knows. So the conductor of the test knows before you know, before your brain knows. What the fuck? So this begs the question. What's really happening here? Is anything happening at all? Or did it already happen? These are questions that really need to be asked, because that means that there's something going on with what we know time to be. What we know events to be, actions to be. Was I already going to stand up? Was it already known that I was going to walk down the street? What's happening? And the person that walked down the street, when I see somebody walk past me, what voice in them told them to get up out their house the same time that I got out my house? There has to be something divinely orchestrated. The moves that we making ain't the moves that we think, the conscious being that we are, we think we making those decisions. There is an entity, and there's only one of them, that's making the decisions for us. We are all that. We're that being, but on this level, we're trying our hardest to fully consciously connect to that being. But we get blocked from that being by being, I'm MoonManT. No, you're not. No, you're not. You playing MoonManT. And that piece on the board is being moved around by one, and the 360 piece and that piece is being moved by one entity playing chess with itself.
Mm.
We just gotta let go. We gotta let go of trying to control the board. Let the player play the game. That player is you, but you keep associating yourself as the piece. You are both the piece and the player of the game of chess. Wow.
Hey, bro, you spazzing. And y'all, did y'all just see what he just said? He said, fuck MoonManT. I'm not MoonManT. We say this all the time because that's the no thing. That's that new wit. That's that's when you're tapping into your infinity. You start to transcend past your ego. None of this shit matters. If you are infinite energy, there's no type of there's no what reward can be rewarded to you. You're infinite. You're everything already. This shit is just merely a distraction. Bro, them, you feel what I'm saying? They say, twin. The only feeling that is real is right now. Bro, on the Nile River right now. Row your boat gently down your stream. Merrily, merrily, merrily. Life's about a dream. Appreciate the gifts, twin. I appreciate you. Now, genius often is expressed through a change of perception, a change of complex of paradigm. I just want to say this real quick. Oh, I lost the thing real quick. I wanted to say
Yo,
this about
you was about to
genius.
cook that one. I felt the cook coming. Whoa.
No, I was about to
See my
cook them
body.
up.
See my body new.
Yeah,
Hold
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah. No,
My
because
body
it is right
new.
back. It's right back. Genius often is expressed through a change of perception, a change of context or paradigm. The mind struggles with an insoluble problem, poses a question, and it's open to receive an answer. There go that reception energy. The source from which this answer comes has been given many names, varying from culture to culture and time to time. In the arts of Western civilization has traditionally been identified with the Greek goddesses' inspiration called the Muses. Those who are humble and grateful for illumination receive to continue to have the capacity to access genius. See, bro, just protecting himself. When he tell you, nah, MoonManT ain't whoop-de-woo, that's protection, so that's spiritual protection, so you can continue to receive the energy of genius, so you can always come up here and cook them. Those who arrogate the inspiration to their own ego soon lose this capacity or are destroyed by the success. High power is high you over there by the pyramids. High power, like high voltage, must be handled with respect. Bro, now you gotta handle that with respect. That's why when we come up here, a good teacher, a great teacher will tell you some like this because they want the energy to continue the channel for them. They don't want to block it with their mask. Their mask starts to block the energy.
Profound as fuck. And sometimes you gotta just let that silence sit in because that's OD. That's OD. And in that what he just read is the secret. It's the secret. That's not really a secret. You really have to let go of that self-identified, I'm this, and that. And this is why I also talk about the ancestral reality, family dynamics. Those things keep you bound to that particular story of who you think you are. This is why a lot of us that are on the awakening path, we try to get away from the families. We try to get away from the friends, everything that's familiar, because the familiar keeps you locked into that story. They want you to continue to be, my earth name is Stephen Lee. They want me to continue to be Stephen Lee. They want that being that. But that can never come back because that being has realized that it was stuck in space-time due to identifying with that ego, with that story. Now, quickly, if we know that reincarnation is a thing in a linear capacity, then we know that we had thousands of moms and thousands of brothers and thousands of lovers. We've done it many times. So the attachment to this particular lifetime is unfounded and it really isn't logical. The profound attachment to mom, brother, friend, cousin, blah, blah, blah. Those attachments have to be released. You can love them. You can love on them, but you have to release the attachments to them because it will free you to be that no thing that we're talking about.
Yep. And it's real and it's energy. I think it just has something to do with us understanding our energy. These are energies and you are energy. So when you detached from them, it's just to teach you a lesson of all of y'all are simply just energy existing. So you always one. That's the no thing. But the more you like, oh, I gotta have it, I gotta be attached to, it's almost like you going against the whole perspective of your existence. You forgot who the fuck you was, which was no thing at all. This shit is an illusion. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, merrily, merrily. Life is a dream. These are dreams. We're part of the dream. We part of this dream. All of us is. You in the dream, we in the dream, all of us. And all we forgot. We forgot. That's why they tell you, as soon as you get spiritual, oh, you waking up, you getting woke. Why? Because you're starting to wake up and glitch out the illusion of just the dreaming state of your mundane consciousness existence, of left to right, linearized thinking, or the rational state of existence. You start to go into your cycles, your ciphers.
Wow. And this is why it's important to study what we call the dream realm when we lay our bodies down at night. You got to study that. When you come back here, they tell you it's just a dream. That's just a dream. Nah, that's not just a dream. That's another realm. That's a realm where you exist. Those people know you. And many different, and see, lock in, that realm is showing you the nature of the energetic reality that we really are. When you're in this when you're in this version of the dream, because this is the dream realm as well, but just in a different way, it gives you the sensation of material existence. Lock in. That reality, we call the dream reality, the energy of God, God's infinite energy is in its true state. It's moldable, it's malleable, it's movable. An apple can be a building can be a tree can be a dog, because everything's everything. When you're here, there's continuity. The wall's the wall. This is that. This is continuously what it is, because it's locked in by your perception that it's real, because you're the dreamer. So the dreamer gets what the dreamer wants. So the dreamer keeps saying that money's real. The dreamer keeps saying that the wall's there. I can't put my hand through the wall. I can't move things. The dreamer keeps saying that, and the dreamer keeps getting that. But when the dreamer finally rises to the fact that it's dreaming, you become lucid in the dream of material life. And you have the full range and capabilities that you would have in a quote unquote dream scenario. You can move shit. You can materialize shit. You can manifest. What do you think manifestation is? All of this entire reality is one dreamer dreaming and waking up from that dream. And if you're listening, you are that dreamer. I am a character that you sent to say that.
Hey, and just to piggyback off what you said about the energy being manipulated, an apple can be a tree, or this can be that, and all of that. Next time you do lifting something heavy, don't think of it as heavy. That's that separation. That's that illusion shit. Look at it as energy now attached to your energy, and watch how the weight shift on your ass. Shift your conscious. Next time you lifting something, I just did this shit. I was lifting something heavy. I picked up both my babies. I'm damn walking down the street with my babies and taking them on a walk. And soon as I realized, damn, this is energy, and this energy is, we are all just energy. I'm not really carrying nothing heavy. That's an illusion. This is just all energy floating in one. It starts to shift the whole nature of how you move around and everything. This is how you become more psychic and everything. You starting to crack the code around you and be more, as bro says, you tap into the psychic powers of the moon. That energy that, you know, you dream when the moon come up and these images are propagated from within you. Because when you wake up, you focus on the world outside of you. But when you close your eyes and go to sleep, you have a whole vision of an outside world within you. Daytime, everything can happen within your consciousness. So what the fuck is that power? That's the power you tapping into. That's the one that knows all, knows everything. Everything already happened, like bro said. So this is very significant, like that gut feeling and everything we've already alluded to.
This is the reason why, and I made a video about this yesterday. This is the reason why I said the matrix stays the matrix as long as you keep it the matrix. When you rise from the dream realm and you come back here, you're reminded about all the rules and regulations of the matrix, and you think that they're real, so you say yes to it unconsciously. So you like sign a contract every time you come back from the dream realm. That this is life, and I got work in the back, and all that stuff. But when you begin to shift, yes, you still act those things out, but you've changed them energetically. You're signing a new contract.
Mm.
That contract says, hey, look, when I rise from the dream world, I'm going to take some of that psychic power with me and walk about my material day. As I continue to do the mundane things, I keep that energy with me, and you're gonna begin to see how the material world in the most literal way starts to mold and shape to what your mind was just thinking.
Hey, and speaking of that, that kind of remind me of this right here. That's that butterfly effect. A butterfly has always represented the transformation of a consciousness. And in the theory of the butterfly effect, I know some of y'all watched the movie, The Butterfly Effect. The flap of a butterfly wing can cause a hurricane across the world. So a subtle shift of your consciousness, your mind, all of that, all this stuff we doing right now is shifting our full reality. For bro to be where he at in Egypt, to come up here and teach and do all of that, every decision he made, every step he took, every ripple of his consciousness, it led him to this position for him to press live, and then for me to come up here, every decision I made, every thought, I was about to go to sleep. I decided to get something to eat. Then I decided to whoop-de-woo. And then I came back, I said, damn, then he had to say something where I just said something more. I said, oh, man, you see how this works? And then think about it, it's 20 people in here. All of y'all have separate butterfly effects within your reality that all led us to this path right now. And you think this shit is random, but it's not. It's not. You meant to hear this. You meant to, like bro said, you sent me in a dream to tell you this. Oh, bro, no, this is not random. This is way more aligned like a star, like in a constellation than you think. You feel me? But I don't want to hold you up too much longer, bro. I appreciate you letting me come up here too, twin.
You already know. It's a pleasure. Well, let me say something real quick, right? So it's hard for us to conceive of these types of conversations because the senses are very, very powerful. They're powerful. But what would an all-powerful being do when it wants to experience something that makes them forget? It would create something it would have to create something extremely powerful. And that's what the one did. That's what consciousness did. It created this particular experience of the senses. Okay. But now we're studying the nature of the senses and how the senses are projecting this reality around us. If this is the case, then you are literally, not figuratively, the only one here. And you're trying to wake yourself up through all of this. So as I'm hearing 360 talk, the codes are getting cracked and the spell is wearing off. And I'm looking around and I'm like, what the fuck? It's just me. I'm the only one. And from y'all perspective, you have to know that that's what it is for you as well. It's holographic. Whoa, man.
Bro, what book I got pulled up right now?
Is that Michael Talbot?
Yep, holographic universe. Yo ass tapped in. Y'all see that? He talking about projections and holographs. I just put up a random picture of the holograph, the projection. He said it's just you, which shows you exactly how a holograph works. The splitting of the beam from the one laser light, your consciousness that bounces off the real apple, which is a more denser aspect of an existence, and goes to a holographic plate and creates that image of a projection of your reality. Now, we would say some crazy stuff like this. Well, we're all something and some this and some that. But look, a holograph, if I broke this holographic plate into 20 different pieces, I still get 24 apples. So that one apple is now 24. Every piece represents a full apple, just like us. What did bro just say? A projection. We're all just the one. You're looking at a shattered holographic plate that's telling you it's a whole bunch of different apples, but all of those apples just belong to what? That one original projection of the apple in the first place. If I broke this plate, I would still get 20 different apples, but it's all in the original sense of the holograph. It's just that one apple. And if you look at this world, you have a whole bunch of different individualities and personalities and different interpretations of energy, but it's all just the one apple, the one energy. So everything bro just said, y'all see how this channel work? That's that sensitivity energy.
And this is why you find yourself looking around. Like there's moments where I catch myself just looking. Like it's like I'm looking for something. Like I know there's something that exists within the space. There's something there. Sometimes I just stare out and I'll be like, what? I can't put my finger on it, but I know that there's something that stretches beyond my senses. My senses are giving me this idea of the bird chirp, right? And it's giving me an idea that there's something over there. I could walk over there and I could touch the wall, but there's something about the energy that exists within that space, because space is filled with something. It's not empty. There's a substance that's intelligent that exists that makes each person, each thing, what they are. It's the field, or we call the field of consciousness, like Lynn McTaggart, the field, right? Speaking of Michael Talbot, right? Man, so we're constantly looking around, hearing for something, feeling for something that we can't quite detect with these limited senses. We're trying to heighten these senses to such a degree that we can start seeing the ties that bind yourself to the wall, the ties that bind you to the sun, the other people, the trees. And the more you do that, the more you simply don't. Well, this is when you get into that you don't even want to do nothing no more, because you become nothing again. It's like you don't want to even make an action as a human. You just want to be in it because you are it, and there's nothing else really happening besides that. But you want to do some human shit. I gotta go to work, gotta get the bills, gotta blah, 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 blah. That's all the human stuff that humans designed within that field. But the field is made of everything and everyone and everything is made of the field. So there's really nothing to do. There's everything to simply be, and it's not being lazy to be. And this is the biggest lesson for humanity right now, is that you've done enough. Humans, you've been doing for thousands of years. It's time to simply put down the masks and the tools and let the director yell cut and just be.
Man, your ass be cooking, bro. I appreciate you letting me come up here, twin, and just share this energy. I appreciate you letting me get up on your big screen, bro, them, and sharing that energy, bro. It's always a Kundalini sparker every time I come up here, and it's some type of divine confirmation that's needed on this path. You know what I'm saying? When I cross paths with you, so I appreciate you just giving me that, time for me to come up here and just share this energy with you. I know, like you said, silence is very important. I'm learning that over time. So I appreciate you coming, teaching us, bro, because I still be learning from you and all of that. So I appreciate you, man.
And vice versa, bro. It's a pleasure. Every time we do this, we change reality in ways that I can't really describe with words. And I'm good with words, and I can't describe how powerful it is when we connect, and a bunch of other real life gods that are actually doing it. I appreciate you for spending your time up here reading to the people, because it's important to have both that channel, but also to read, man. Because when you read, it's a different type of energy. Like I can feel it when you're doing your thing, how you teach, and then I feel the shift to when now I'm gonna teach this way. Like I feel both realities, and it's fucking, man. Like this
No, for
is,
real though.
I'm telling you, like throne worthy. I don't give a fuck if you're a president. I don't care what label you have. These motherfuckers on these apps, we run the world, not in an egoic way, but we run the shit, and it's gonna be shown, felt, and seen sooner than later, because everybody's seeking it now. They looking for it. They like, what is going on? They got existential crises, identity crises. People want to know. It's beyond church. It's beyond dogma. What is going on this planet? What's going on within me and those that are actually teaching it? We are the council. We are the extraterrestrials. We are the angels. We are the interdimensional beings. It's us. Welcome back.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, bro, until next time, twin, I'll holla at you, man. I'll catch you around in these TikTok streets. I appreciate you, bro. Everybody here, I appreciate y'all having me as well. Y'all have a good night on Babies on Brother Mother Brothers. We out of here at 6, twin.
Big love, bro. Big love, bro. Wow. I can't quite articulate how powerful it is when those that done the inner work connect and go. I think that's one of the biggest lessons for the awakened gods, of the awakened collective, because we are a soul group, and that soul group came in together. No, we weren't physically together. We were born in different families, but we came in together. We made a decision together. Hey, we going? Yeah, we going bet. Look, you going to wake up at this time. I'm going to wake up at this time. There's going to be this thing called TikTok that gets invented, and we're going to find each other there, because all of the gods and soul family members that I've met have been on TikTok in the most literal way. It's rare that I find a flesh and blood human being in my reality that I met that's on some God shit. It's rare. This is why TikTok was designed, I believe, right? Yeah, we get entertained, but it's beyond that. The real gods, the awakened ones, have found each other, and that has transformed existence in a way that my words would be disrespectful to even try to describe. This is the council. We are the elders. We are the round table, right? This is it. There's no one to wait for. We're the ones, and it's going to be seen, felt. You can see it. When I scroll through TikTok, I'll be seeing, I'll be like, oh yeah, you one of them. Welcome back, welcome home. Oh, you one of them. Welcome back, welcome home. Wow, let's do it. I'm attempting more to drop even more of that ego. You need the ego so you can play the game, but to drop that spiritual ego that wants to be the one and be the fucking best. That shit is not conducive to the reality that we've entered. It doesn't even matter anymore because there is no matter. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for the likes, for the shares, for the comments, for the gifts. If you guys want to subscribe at the bottom, $2.99 a month for those who wish to subscribe. If you want to have a one-on-one session with yours truly, please click the link in my bio. All things MoonManT are there. If you want to support me directly, if you want to hit my PayPal, support me on my journey, whatever the case is. I don't care if it's $1, it means the world. You can hit the PayPal. The PayPal's right there. It's also in my bio description. You are loved, honored, respected. Remember this. Remember within. Ashe, Ashe, and I'll see y'all soon.